Happy hunting.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Now at 6, a party gone wrong. 7 people shot in Muncie. Tonight, we can report a suspect is in custody. Good evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Trevor Shirley. It all happened not far from the Ball State campus. This level of violence, though, has people in the neighborhood pretty worried tonight. RTV6's Derek Thomas joins us live from that neighborhood. He's got more on this. Hey, Derek.
Trevor, the party happened at the home behind me. Neighbors were told about the party and were even invited to the party, but they didn't know that gun violence would break out. At about 12:45, shots rang out. 7 people were wounded. At least 3 people had life-threatening injuries. Under arrest is 19-year-old Vashon Harnett. He is charged with 2 counts of attempted murder. The motive for the shooting has not been released. 23-year-old Cassie Ammon lives right next door. She was very surprised.
I was texting my dad about it, but he was asleep. So we were talking today, and they were just very surprised it happened here in this part of the neighborhood. And they just thought it was a very freak occurrence.
So you're not going to be moving?
No.
It's kind of concerning just because I wouldn't have imagined this happening in the neighborhood, especially it being so close to Ball State. It is kind of concerning that there was, just so much violence happening in an area where there are a lot of families and stuff.
Again, the shooting did not happen on campus. The Ball State president, Jeffrey Mearns, issued a statement that said, "This is a very unfortunate event. We wish a full and prompt recovery for the victims." Live in Muncie, Derek Thomas, RTV6.
Derek, thanks. Also tonight, a young Indianapolis boy is getting his community on its feet and walking to stop gun violence. Take a look. 10-year-old Reese Hamilton organized another one of his peace walks for today. The event happened near 30th and Dearborn. Hamilton has organized several other peace walks. He says the goal is simple: to get neighbors out, walking, and talking so gun violence doesn't get a grip on the community.
Because I feel like that I need to stop gun violence and stop all violence. That's why I'm doing this, and I'm doing it for my cousin Cheese because he died from gun violence too.
I definitely believe that this is one of the ways we bridge gaps and bridges within our community, and definitely to have a youth do it, it's a great impact for our community on both ends.
And Hamilton says he plans to organize other peace walks too. He hopes the community can see that he's trying to do something positive. Well, switching gears now, if you felt like you were in deep the summer season today, who could blame you? After all, we had sunshine and pretty high temperatures hovering around 90 degrees today. But that's going to change before this weekend is over. Let's head over and check in with Storm Team 6 meteorologist Kyle Mounts. Hey, Kyle.
Yeah, Trevor, a big difference from last weekend when we had highs only in the 40s. Today, 85 degrees, not far from that record of 90, but it will stay in the record books for another year, set in 1962. It is still toasty out there for us this evening. Temperatures well into the 80s, close to 90 in Bedford, as well as Muncie at 88. It's 84 right now in Crawfordsville. Checking out Storm Team 6 radar, and we've got the satellite on here as well. You can see some of those clouds, but the rain is staying off to the north and west around Chicago into northern portions of Illinois. If you're going to be heading out for the walk this evening, Boogie is ready to go. Cindy says he's always up for a walk, and as we go through the next few hours, those temperatures will start to cool a little bit as we get down into the lower 70s. But tomorrow we've got some stormy weather. We'll detail that for you hour by hour in a few minutes.
All right, Kyle, thanks. We'll check in with you in a bit. Well, we are inching closer to race day. It was another exciting today at the Speedway. Qualifying getting started for next weekend's Indianapolis 500. Tough to believe it's only a week away at this point. Some big names getting caught up in some big drama, though, today at the track. RTV6 sports anchor Dave First and Tony Kanaan both join us live from the track. They've got the latest on what turned out to be a pretty interesting day. Hey, Dave.
It's been this way now for several years, but here we go. First day qualifying for the 8,500, essentially setting the field for those guys between 10 and 30, which Tony Kanaan is a part of. But then you had the Fast 9 shootout tomorrow. More importantly, the guys that are in the back that have to take part in a last row shootout. And here we go. Fernando Alonso is one of those guys, and James Hinch.
It's crazy. I mean, this year it was totally unexpected, and we talked about this yesterday. Nobody knew. If you had to pick 3 guys to stay out,
right?
Nobody knew because we didn't know. And today, the weather, the wind.
Yeah.
I mean, we got so lucky that we got an early draw.
The conditions were so bizarre today.
You know what's funny? So we had sunny days with no wind.
Right.
Cold days with a lot of wind. And then today, just because it's qualifying, we got hot and wind. So we weren't. Nobody were prepared.
Yeah, everybody was caught off guard. Let's show you James Hinch clip. This happened around 1:30 or so this afternoon. This is a second lap, turn 2, and the back end just comes around, and Hinch is along for the ride.
Yeah, I mean that's just when the car was loose already, he was afraid to turn. He ran a little high, and when he put a little bit of a lock in, he lost it, which is a shame. I got really worried. It took him a long time to get out of the car. I rushed into the medical center. Thank God he was fine. So. But now going to a road course car, which has, but for people that don't understand.
Well, tell you what, first things first, let's hear from Hinch after he talked to you in the medical center. He talked to us.
Honestly, it was a little on the neutral side in the north end of the track, but the south end wasn't too bad, so I wasn't really expecting it. I was kind of more preparing to hang on through 3 and 4 that next lap, if I'm honest, and then just swapped ends on me. So gust of wind, you don't know. When it's gusty like this and you're in low downforce qualifying trim, these things can happen, and unfortunately it caught us out today.
Okay, so that's around 1:30. They immediately got out the car he used in the GP last Saturday. Took off the aero bits from that, put on the oval kit, if you will, threw in a brand new race engine. This crew got him out by 4 o'clock, threw him through tech, and then that process of going to requalify. First time he was out to qualify in the backup car was essentially a shakedown. How nuts was that?
It was crazy. He did a shakedown. He did 4 attempts, and obviously aerodynamically with the bodywork and stuff, that car is not as good as his previous car, so the speeds are going to be slow.
So the initial attempt too slow, attempt number 2 too slow, attempt number 3 not fast enough, 226.9, and here he is heading into Sunday qualifying on the outside looking in.
It was the road course car, so that doesn't have a lot of the bells and whistles that the speedway cars have, and we just didn't have the time to rub on it the way that we want to. So, a year ago today, it was the end of the road for us. With the rules this year, we've got another shot tomorrow. We'll take a good hard look at everything.
More on Hinch. They'll have that car ready, I think, tomorrow.
Yeah, tonight for sure they're going to get some new uprights.
Yeah.
Which, helps a lot. Probably a different gearbox. And they cannot massage the bodywork, but I think this car is going to be faster tomorrow.
Meanwhile, up front, the usual list of contenders, namely Spencer Pigot, Ed Carpenter Racing, doing it again. He was the second one out this morning. The draw was big, wasn't it, at the end of the day?
Big time. I got to take my wife and buy her dinner and flowers.
Lauren brought at 6th out. 230.083. Spencer Pigot right now on pole.
Feel like the work paid off all week to get to that?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been working hard on every kind of condition. We've been out there in the heat and the wind and, in the better conditions as well, trying to get reads on everything. And, I think that kind of pays off. No matter where we were going to go today, we felt prepared. And, obviously earlier is probably better. So happy with that and, really happy with the car at Carpenter Racing. Did a great job, Chevrolet. So, so far so good.
So this all sets up the Fast 9. This is the way it looks, and here's the situation. If it rains out tomorrow, this will be the first 3 rows for the 103rd running of the Indianapolis 500. Pigot, Power, Pagano, row 1, Newgarden, Herta, and then Ed Jones making up row 2 again for now, and then Ed Carpenter, Rossi, Sebastian Bourdais rounding out the Fast 9. Could be the first 3 rows we will see tomorrow. So many other storylines to talk about, including Fernando Alonso. The News at 6 continues after this.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Welcome back. As Channel 6 prepares to celebrate 70 years on the air, we've been having a lot of fun talking with former staffers about their favorite memories. Tonight, we're catching up with former reporter Julie Persley. She actually grew up in central Indiana and had the chance to watch Channel 6 long before she was hired here. Then when she got here, the people she grew up watching became her coworkers and friends.
forget, on my first day here, I called my mom and said, I cannot believe this. I am sitting next to Derek Thomas, Norman Cox, Jack Reinhart, Ben Morriston, Cy Jenkins, Clyde and Dion. I just felt like I was in this room of rock star journalists who I had watched growing up, and I just felt really honored to be in their presence. But I always tried to learn from them as well. But I think probably the two that really stand out, who always seemed to give advice whether or not they knew they were at the time, it would be Jack Reinhart and Derek Thomas. And whether or not they knew it, I was always watching them, seeing how they approached people, how they were searching for facts and compiling information and presenting it to the viewer. And I really feel like I learned a lot from them. I still have a lot of very good friends that I made here at Channel 6, and oddly enough, I feel like I made a lot of friends in the viewers. I still have people come up to me almost every day. My kids get a little tired of it sometimes, but people approach me, and it's just a real honor because they say, I feel like I know you, and I love when people come up and say hi.
Julie left just last year to start a new chapter outside of television news. She's now a communications manager for Community Hospital North. And we're going to continue to reminisce daily about the past 70 years, all leading up to May 30th. That's when former anchors Clyde Lee and Dion Willis lead us in a 1-hour special at 7 p.m. That's called 70 Years Together, RTV6 Working for You. It's going to be a fun night, and we sure hope you tune in to join us. Well, tornadoes, golf ball-sized hail, and damaging winds. A severe weather system is right now making its way across the eastern two-thirds of the country. It's creating a significant threat for at least 70 million people along the storm's damaging path. Since Friday morning, parts of the U.S. have already reported 34 tornadoes. Take a look at there. You can see some of the devastation on your screen. In Oklahoma, a tornado there destroyed 2 homes. In Texas, another twister caused widespread damage there. The National Weather Service says too much rain too quickly is also raising flooding concerns in already heavily saturated areas. And the threat is not over after this weekend. We're expecting round 2 to be just around the corner. And take a look, lots of people, though, right here in Indianapolis enjoying the weather today outside at the East Side Festival. A great day to be out there taking in the sun. Just looks light years away from what those people in other parts of the country are dealing with. We could be in for some weather of our own tomorrow. Kyle Mounts is here. He's got a look at that. Hey, Kyle.
Yeah, Trevor, today was certainly the better outdoor day in central Indiana. Feeling like summer, and even as we look west over downtown, got that summer appearance. A little bit of a hazy sky for us with temperatures well into the 80s, sitting at 84 in downtown, 86 for you in Bloomington and Muncie. A pair of 8s on the thermometer right now. It has been breezy, and that breeze has been bringing in that warm air today out of the southwest between about 15 and 20 miles per hour. As that continues during the overnight, we're really not going to cool very much at all. So probably the AC going to be working through the overnight, and that fan as we have temperatures into the middle and upper 60s by tomorrow morning. And tomorrow afternoon is not going to be as toasty as what we had today. Instead of the 80s, we'll be settling for middle to upper 70s. 75 your high in Bloomington, 74 in Lafayette, and 77 in the Richmond area. That's because tomorrow we have a much better rain chance, and some of those rain chances could climb to some severe storms as we head through the afternoon. So we start off today with some scattered showers. That rain should quickly increase in coverage here by mid to late morning. And then as we go into the afternoon, we'll be watching a couple of those complexes of thunderstorms to get going here. By about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, our severe weather threat will ramp up a little bit here. And then as we go to about 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening, that's going to be kind of that window where we could have some of those stronger storms before they move out. As far as the primary severe weather threat, going to be some gusty winds, possibly some hail in a few of those, the isolated tornado threat for us, and flooding not out of the question here as some areas get under some of those thunderstorms, could pick up over an inch of rainfall. 7-day planning forecast will go from those highs in the 70s tomorrow with thunderstorms to much cooler air by Monday, a high of just 67 with partly cloudy skies. We're up to 70 by Tuesday, and those shower and thunderstorm chances are right back in here for the middle of the week, and the highs are back in the 80s.
All right. I think that storm cell that came through on Thursday was kind of a good reminder to everybody. You know, we are in severe weather season. You got to stay on your toes.
Yeah, be ready with the Storm Shield app for sure.
All right. Sounds good, Kyle. Thanks.
Just looking back at the front stretch here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. See how nice that is? A shade on the front of the front stretch here. Now.
And it's nice because you're sitting here. You want to go there, do 4 laps?
I don't know how you guys. I don't know how Fernando Alonso did. Well, he didn't actually. He's got to do it again tomorrow or Monday. We'll talk about that and so much more. Qualifying day 1 here at the Speedway coming up here at RTV6.
Ashley Home Store. This is home. Live from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this is Trackside 6.
And we are wrapping up day 1 of qualifying at the world's greatest race course, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Day 1 to qualify. I don't know. I mean, how difficult is it to qualify? 4 laps out there.
I can barely stay awake right now.
You're exhausted.
It's so stressful.
And you went out once.
I know. But then they sit there all day watching people going to bump you. They're not going to bump you. You're going to go out again. You're not going to go out again.
And the heat and the wind.
And the wind. And then you got to look at the temperature. And you got to talk about changing gears. And it's just exhausting.
So imagine being Fernando Alonso who comes in.
I've been there.
And McLaren. I know you've been there.
Been there.
But, I mean, as you take a look at his qualifying effort today, I mean, he had a cut right rear tire to begin the day, and then he had to make a second attempt, a third attempt, and a fourth attempt, and he never made the show. He's going to be the last row shootout tomorrow, 227.2, his final attempt. I mean, this is a team that's chasing it hard, right?
Yeah, 100%, Dave. And that tells you a team that is so successful in Europe comes here in an oval and has Jules de Ferran there, has a lot of the guys there.
A lot of very knowledgeable people.
But the series is being so competitive right now. Yeah. I tell you what, I will give you guys a challenge, and we might do that in our next show.
Okay.
We need to translate the speed to lap times. You have no idea how close that is.
Let's hear from Fernando Alonso, who we'll see again tomorrow, maybe even Monday. We'll explain why coming up.
Fernando, how frustrating is it to kind of see how this week has gone leading to today?
Yeah, definitely it's frustrating, but yeah, there are things that are out of our hands probably. We've been not super competitive all weekend, and we've been not super prepared to the event, that's true. But yeah, in some key moments like now, we have a rear right puncher on qualifying, so yeah, all these small issues, it doesn't help to our poor competitiveness already.
So the story, not really the Fast 9 guys, as much as it is who will be fighting for that last row. It's either tomorrow, if it's a rain-out day tomorrow, then they're going to do it Monday, maybe Tuesday if they have to.
They're going to do it.
They're going to get it in.
Yeah.
So these are the 6 that are competing for the final 3 spots for the 103rd running of the Indianapolis 500, and there are some surprises on that list.
Oh well, I mean, look at Pato. I mean, a huge talent.
Yeah.
Hinch, Chilton,
and Dreyer and Reinbold, Sage Karam, and those guys have been pretty good.
I know Sage has been concerned for a few days, so something is going on there.
Let's take a look up front. Meanwhile, you've got guys like Team Penske, and as expected, quick out of the gate today. The Chevys, very good. They did their homework heading into this month of May. But Will Power, second quick, only eclipsed by Spencer Pigot. But Power, 230.081, second quick. Pagano, third quick. Joseph Newgarden, fourth quick. Elio Castroneves, 12th. Team Penske, ready to go, we think, on race day.
I was talking with the engineer and said this could be our only run. This could be the only qualifying run we do altogether, so I'll be super disappointed if it is. I just need that little bit extra.
You want a good draw. You want to go first. And, you know, the way this track works, heat's not your friend. It doesn't help the engine. It doesn't help the grip. But I think for our draw, we ran a good lap. I thought our car's been fast. Shell V-Power car's been really strong.
Good to hear from those guys. Your day today, one trip around here, successful or not?
I wasn't happy with my run, but we got it in the right time of the day, so we didn't feel like going out again. But we missed a little bit on the gears.
Right.
And we lost, actually, we're looking at the data afterwards, 0.8 of a mile an hour. So we would have been in the top 12. But, you know, it's one of those things you gotta you got to gas the gear for the win, and we gassed it a little too tall. AJ wasn't happy about that because he told us to gas a little shorter, and we didn't listen. We should have, but it was okay.
So, given it all, I love the shot of Deco in the car as you did your media stuff
Crazy.
afterwards.
He wanted to get in the car, so hopefully that will be the last time.
You could have a very expensive child the next 4 or 5 years.
Happening.
You know? Schedule tomorrow. We'll see what happens. This is weather permitting. If it does wash out, then that last row shootout will be Monday here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. For Tony Kanaan, I'm Dave First. More at 11. The news at 6. Meanwhile, continues after this.
Hardee's, because it tastes better.
All right, well, hopefully they can get those last qualifying rounds in tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be tough tomorrow with lots of rain.
All right, thanks, Kyle. We're going to see you later on tonight at 11. Thanks for watching now, though. We'll see you in a bit.